Welcome back to the CD Financial Podcast. CD Financial, where health meets wealth. I'm Marcus C., your host. That man across from me, as always, Chuck D. Chuck, how the heck are you?
I don't know, Marcus. Why don't you tell me when this thing's going to stop itching, man?
Mine never itched.
It's
Mine never
weird.
itched.
Well,
Yeah,
your hair's not curly either, is it? It's
it,
just
it is. Okay, so behind the scenes secret here. I'll just disclose this while we're just chatting. I started to use a straightener on mine.
a
Yeah,
straightener.
I,
What,
I don't use
on your
curlers, but I do
beard?
use a straightener.
Okay, whatever. What I mean, why a straightener, Mark? I mean, you're like a man's man. What's up with straightening your beard?
So my beard starts to kind of curl out. I do have curly hair.
Oh, kind of like the barbershop. What do they call those barbershop handled
The
mustache?
handlebar mustache. I've been
There you go.
wanting to experiment with that. So okay, that is probably coming at some point. I don't know if we'll see it on camera, but it's probably going to happen. I'm going
Cool.
to be honest.
All right, good. I'm all for it. My Angie's like, oh, that's so gross, and I'm like, what's gross? I think that's cool. When I was a kid, I thought it was crazy, but now that
Yeah.
I'm older, I'm like, oh no, the mustache with the curl up. Was that? Is it Forsberg? Is that his name? He's a plays for the. Is it the Nashville Predators NHL? He's
Oh,
a superstar, and I think he's got one of those mustaches. He's Swedish or something. He's Scandinavian. I was like, I
I,
love it.
I'll look him up once we're done here. I'm going to look
Yeah,
him up
yeah.
because.
Get that stash going.
Okay, so handlebar mustache. Real quick aside, since we started talking about that, I got a hot comb for my beard that straightens it out, and it
Really.
keeps it from being unruly. Ultimately, I don't want necessarily straight. I just don't want it to be unruly. But okay, if I go handlebar mustache, and this is something that's on the table, I think eventually I'm going to slowly kind of morph into 1920s bad guy, right? With the Van Dyke handlebar mustache. Like at some point, I'll probably be, robbing banks or something. I guess
I
with
gotta
an
go
old timey
Google
accent.
Van Dyke and see what you're talking about. I'm sure I
Yeah,
know it as soon as I see it. I'll be like, oh, of course.
yeah. That the pointy goatee, just the pointy goatee and
Oh yeah,
handlebar
yeah, yeah,
mustache.
yeah. I noticed Isaac. So, folks, Isaac's my firstborn son, and I noticed he's got a huge beard, and he's got a lot of red in his beard. Although his hair's, brown, not quite as dark as mine, but his beard's got lots of red. Anyway, I noticed that the stash and the T is kind of elevating thicker than the beard, and he's already got a major beard. I mean, a major beard, right? It's pretty curly, kind of like kicking it old school Babylonian Nebuchadnezzar style, like right Mesopotamian beard. But he's got that. This I noticed the stash and the T part of it
Uh huh.
is like lifted above the beard, and I'm like, okay, we need to figure out what we're doing here, right?
First of all, Isaac's a man's man. I mean, I'm really really jealous of his beard because when I first saw him with the beard, I was like, man, I wish I could grow something like that because he grows a nice beard. Secondly, it maybe not be a bad idea. We're gonna have to do some carvings based on Isaac's appearance. So for future generations, we'll bury those and leave them. But
So this gray, all this gray hair here, this used to
uh-huh.
be blonde. It used to be blonde all through the T. I got.
Really,
Oh, can I show you? Don't you go anywhere.
I'll wait right here.
Proof. I got proof of this. When you see the proof, now we're kicking back. Oh God, man, oh man. But that T, now the T was probably only a week and a half old. But if we can see that,
Oh yeah, you hold it up, raise it just a little more. Yeah, a little bit of a glare off of your light, but we can see it's
how's
coming
that?
through there, man.
Yeah, man.
What a
Me and
beautiful
that
couple
lady.
you guys are.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, it was easier to look that way, um, you know, 18 years ago.
That kind of goes for all of us, but you guys look great. You and Angie still look great.
It was probably 16 and a half years ago, 17, but yeah, it was either way. Hey, what are you going to do? Time marches on, it rolls over you. You got to go with it, man. You got to keep
Yes.
keep moving and sticking, moving and sticking. In fact,
All
we're
right.
going to talk about keep on moving, don't stop. Keep on
Yeah,
moving,
yeah,
don't stop.
that's gonna come up
No.
later. So
Yes, sir.
are you ready? Are you ready? Because now
Oh yeah.
um we have been chatting a lot, you and I, just informally, and we want to make sure this gets out there, right? Of the deferred retirement or resignation choice for our federal employees, right? So we're
Yes.
going to get into that now, particularly if someone decides I'm going to accept the offer. So,
Yes.
first question for you today: if I'm in that position, I accept the offer. What happens now?
Ah, what happens now? Well, there should be a correspondence from OPM.
Okay.
Hold on, folks. I don't know. It's supposed to happen in 48 hours. Who knows what's going on now, right? So
Yeah.
when it comes, it comes. Naturally, if you're if they're taking you serious and you want them to, you're going to start to hand off your duties to
Mm-hmm.
support your missions, the organization's mission that you're with, and the agency's mission, and start to maybe mentor others and show them what it is that you do and the idiosyncrasies involved in your position. It's up to the agency to let you to release you after a couple weeks, or I don't know, could be a couple months. But either way, you want to hand that off because in the end, you're going to go into administrative leave. And so you're going to get paid just as if you were working. So if you can make it a smooth transition for your agency, then more power to you because we know you care. Unlike what some of the media is saying, we know you care and you're very conscientious employee. Some of you have been at it for 37, 34, 40 years. I've been talking to you. I've had scores of
Yeah.
conversations, 15-minute conversations, and it's very impressive. All across the country, Alaska, even Hawaii. It's fantastic. And I'm very proud of what you've been able to do your whole career. So you hold your head up high. Congratulations if you've accepted this deferred resignation and or you're in administrative leave now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a good point because nobody's hopefully there's got to be somebody out there who does this, but for the most part, we all care. We have a vested interest in what we do, who we do it with. We discussed advantages of going back to the office, and one of the things is being around people you care. So it's not like you're going to accept this resignation, you're dropping the mic and walking out with nothing else. You're going to help smooth the transition, make sure people are in place to take over for you, because we do care. In the end, we do care, right? We don't want to leave something worse off than when we were there. So there is that. Any other expectations? Anything else that you've been hearing that or that you might expect as far as what they want before we walk out that door?
Well, you know how it's going. Everything moves so quickly that they're still getting caught up. OPM still uh, disseminating more information as they figure it out themselves. What did I miss? What did we skip? Right? What did we miss? I should say. What did we miss? What did we skip? And so they're trying to get there. So as they get there, you get there. Take
Yeah,
them at their word. Roll forward. Start to transition your position into somebody else's hands. Start to do just that, and make your administrative leave happen.
excellent. All right. So those are expectations for me. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I've accepted it. I understand my expectations. I'm fulfilling those. So what's ahead of me next then, Chuck? What are my
Oh.
choices? What are my decisions? What am I going to have to think about?
Yeah, now that's really the crux of this, right?
Yeah.
Like, where are you now? Well, you're going to have some months in administrative leave, right?
Yep.
Some time here, right? 6 months, maybe 7 months, right? Depending on where you're at here. Then your choices are the same as anybody that's going into retirement. But what are they? Hopefully, you've figured out that if you're going into retirement, that you can live comfortably
Yeah.
on what you're bringing in from your pension. If you have a supplement, if you have Social Security, if you have retired military pension and some VA disability or what have you, can you afford to retire? So now you're already in administrative leave. Some of you look, we already know you were already retiring. So now you're like, okay, I am in. I'm not going to hesitate. It's going to happen this year, right? 2025, I'm out. Could be September 30th, could be a little bit later if your agency granted you extended administrative leave because you fell into those categories where maybe you just hit 60 and 20, or maybe you're just hitting 20 years between September 30th and December 31st, right? And you had a Vera. So you're 50 years old and at least, and you're going for your 20 years, or
Right.
you didn't have a Vera, but your agency didn't grant it, but you're going for, you know, 60 and 20. And then you'll get that supplemental payment too. So, okay, that aside, right, Marcus,
Hmm.
then
Yeah.
what is it that you have to consider? Um, there's there's health insurance. They're going to ask you about
Yep.
this. Okay, so they is going to be the agency and OPM, and so you can get form SF 3107. You can download that form. SF just stands for standard form, and it's going to run you through the standard questions. Fill it out. You give two copies, I believe, one to your agency, and they're going to forward one to OPM. You keep a copy. Make sure you keep a copy of this. I would scan it, keep it electronically in a hard copy folder. Anyway, you can do SF 3107. A lot of you, your agency wants you to do it online now. So you can go online and do it. I know for so many of you that are DOD, I work with Army a lot, Air Force too, and Navy and Marines. When I was a kid, it was always Army, Navy, Air
Navy,
Force,
Air Force,
Marines,
Marines.
right? Yeah. I think Navy and Marines should have come together, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they shoved the Air Force in between there, but it seems like Navy and Marines, they're supported by a lot of the same staff.
Yeah.
So Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines, you go to GRB. So you go to your GRB platform, and you can start to process your retirement right there. Look, they wanted 5 months for you to plan for this and turn it in. So OPM has that kind of time. So you better start processing it now and figuring out what your choices are. So
So
choice,
let me interject
yeah, go
real
ahead.
quick with a
Uh,
question, Chuck, because we're talking. We just started off
yeah.
mentioning health insurance and what has to be done. Is that health insurance going to extend past your actual retirement? Are you going to be able
Oh,
to hang on to that to the end of the year?
that's a great question. Oh yeah, it's going to extend all the way through retirement. Uh,
Okay, good.
these are like urban myths among federal employees, retirees. My
Right.
health insurance is going to double in expense. No, it doesn't. It's going to seem more expensive because you're going to pay once a month instead of every 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
So $250 is not $250. I mean, that's what I mean to say is it's not $500 because the only
Right.
month that has 28 days is February.
February.
So $250 is actually $542 if we round up like, I don't know, 30, 34 cents. Yeah. So it's $542. So it's $42 more. So you have to decide on your health insurance. That's number
Okay.
one,
Number
your
one.
health insurance. So um, you will elect to keep it or
Mm-hmm.
not. If you've had it for 5 years while working, you could take it into retirement.
Good.
By the way, your spouse can attach themselves to that, even if you didn't have spousal coverage while you were working. On into retirement, they can do that. That's another uh, urban myth that we have to debunk here, right? That way, I can't add my spouse in retirement. Yes, you can, as long as you had it for 5 years. Okay.
Perfect.
So that's health insurance.
Health
You have to
insurance.
make that choice. Now, some of you might be reservists and you're wondering, well, should I do TRICARE or should I do the regular FEHB, Federal Employee Health Benefit?
Mm-hmm.
Because some of you, I know I've talked to you this week, last week. Um, you're just now turning on your reservist pension, and you haven't turned on
Mm-hmm.
TRICARE because you're so used to FEHB. Well, the fact of the matter is, TRICARE you're now eligible for as a reservist. TRICARE for life is at no cost, but then you will be made at age 65 and your spouse at age 65 to elect Medicare Part B. You don't have a
Mm-hmm.
choice there. So if you have TRICARE for life, you're going to be forced into Medicare Part B. So you're going to pay the whatever it is, 185 now, and your spouse 185 too if you're married. But Medicare Part B becomes primary, TRICARE becomes secondary, and you're theoretically 100% covered.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah. So that's pretty fantastic. You know, most everybody likes TRICARE, if not loves. So there's once in a while, some people will say, I hate TRICARE. And I'm like, okay, right? You got your choice to make, so you keep your FEHB if you
Okay.
don't want TRICARE. But if you're going to go on a TRICARE, then you don't need your FEHB, but you never cancel it. Do you remember what you do with your FEHB, your federal health insurance, Marcus? Instead of
No.
canceling it, you suspend it.
Suspended.
You
Yes, that's
never
right.
cancel it, you
Yep.
suspend it. That's what you do. So you suspend your FEHB, your Federal Employee Health Benefit, if you're moving to TRICARE, if you can't access TRICARE because you're not retired military or retired reservist, then you keep your FEHB. Again, you can attach a spouse to it on into retirement as long as you've had it for 5 years. But here's the second choice it's linked. If you're married, the second choice you have to make to your federal employee health benefit is your survivor benefit.
Spousal benefit.
Yeah, let's say you've spousal benefit. If you've got a $3,000 pension, for instance, and you die, you want your spouse, if you want your spouse to get 50% of your pension, or in the case of a $3,000 pension, $1,500, you have to elect the spousal benefit, the full spousal benefit. That's a minus 10% reduction of your pension. It costs 10%. So you got a $3,000 pension, Marcus. You elect a 50% full survivor benefit for Sharon and for Sharita. How much will that cost you if it's a 10% reduction of your $3,000 pension?
Well, if it's 10%, that's 300 down off of that. So there would be 50% of the remainder?
So no, so now your $3,000 pension at $300, now your net pension is $2,700. Yeah, so you minus the 10%. Now your net pension immediately is $2,700. Before your federal employee health benefit, your FEHB, right? Before federal tax, and if you live in a state, the taxes too. So there it is. So yeah, but the reason I mention that is if you died, let's say you die, Mark, before Sharon, then she wants to continue the health insurance. The only way she can access your FEHB is if you bought some form of survivor benefit for your spouse. So the health insurance is connected to the health. The health insurance is connected to survivor benefit. You had to buy some form. There's either 25% or 50%. 50% costs a 10% reduction in your pension, and the 25% costs 5% reduction in your pension. So you got to get something for your spouse if they're using your health insurance. Because if you die suddenly, they're off. They no longer can access your FEHB.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, in our case, we've already decided that she'll go first. So,
okay,
but
good.
If you haven't decided that, then you need to think about this, right?
That's right.
We have that arranged already.
Okay, good. Yeah. So that's your survivor benefit. That's your second choice. Then they're going to pop up life insurance. They're going to say you want to keep your FEGLI, FEGLI, Federal Employees Group Life Insurance. I shouldn't say most, a lot of you think that you don't need it and you're going to elect no. I don't want my group life insurance. Now, for the options, I understand because they'll blow up in cost and they'll eat up your pension check. But not for basic. Basic, you want to keep your basic group life insurance. Okay? You want to keep that. Do you know why, Marcus?
Why
We've had episodes on this before. Because if you do a 75% reduction of your basic group life insurance, you're going to lose how much of your basic group life insurance, Marcus, with a 75% reduction?
You lose 75%.
Hey, that's it.
25%. I'm good with math.
Yeah, that's it. Good. You're going to keep 25%. That's it. You're going to keep 25%. So if you look, we've got a video on that. I'm sure if you could always look at our library and find the FEGLI group life insurance. Okay.
The FEGLI,
so, I mean, there's a vast library on this channel, right? Between the regular 3 minutes on a Tuesday and then our podcast, CD Financial. So, 75% reduction at 65. At age 65, your premium, if you did a 75% reduction on your basic group life, premium becomes 0.
Okay.
So if you're thinking, well, I'm 60 now, I don't want to pay for it. Well, you're only going to pay for it for 5 years. It's going to, and the cost will stay exactly the same as while working. It'll be stable, never to increase, and then boom, 0. Then your reduction will start, and it'll go from whatever it was down to 25% it'll take 4 years to do that, 50 months to be exact. So it'll slide down. Don't lose your basic group life insurance. And in fact, if you're, if you're close to 65, your your option A, if you have that, it's a flat 10 grand.
Hmm.
That'll automatically reduce, and the cost will go away as well. So you might as well, if you have the option A, I think, and you're close to 65, you can keep that because it'll reduce down to 2,500 bucks. Again, it'll automatically do a 75% reduction.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
your
now,
basic
we've
group
discussed
life
spousal
insurance.
benefits, health insurance, life insurance. Is there any other choices or decisions that we have to face?
I'm glad you asked, Marcus. There's one more they're going to ask you about, and it's going to be
Okay.
taxes.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I like you to say, I'm going to keep, there's an option to keep your withholding the same as while working. I
Mm-hmm.
love that because you're not making any adjustment. They're going to keep withholding typically a larger amount of your federal taxes. And then
Mm-hmm.
after you get through a normal year of retirement, the following year, if you get a tax refund, then you can figure it out, right?
Yeah.
Plus, in the let's just keep it there. Yeah, in a normal full year of retirement, you can finally explore what it looks like, right?
Yeah.
And I would say normal retirement doesn't happen for 2 years because then you might have to take a chunk of money out of TSP while they're sorting through what kind of a pension you're going to get, and that's taxable too. And your annual leave is going to fall inside of this year 2025 between September 30th and December 31st. But yeah, some things that you want to consider. Those four things.
Yeah, and the taxes is important, especially there are people who count on that little kickback at the end of the year, right? That little refund, and it's for some it's
Yes.
almost like a savings that they do, so they
Uh huh.
put it aside for a vacation or a nice little event or something.
Yeah, they
So
do. Yeah, it's
yeah,
true.
so
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up because you just mentioned in passing leave. What about my annual leave? What about my sick leave? What's going to happen with
Oh,
all that?
okay. So with your annual leave, you're going
Hmm.
to accrue it on administrative leave. I know it seems crazy, but on administrative leave, you're going to accrue annual leave. So you're going to continue to accrue that, and it's going to build up. So good for you.
Yeah.
More power to you. So you'll get that check after September 30th, or if your agency has extended you, whenever your administrative leave ends, and that's your official retirement date. You'll get a lump sum check for your annual leave. Look,
Okay.
we know you can carry 240 hours into into this year, and then
Hmm.
if you're accruing a bunch of annual leave, and let's say you've hardly taken any, right? And let's say you got your 15 years or more, so you get 8 hours every pay period, and
Hmm.
let's say what's 26 times 0.75? Because at nine through September, it's 19,
Okay.
19 and a half. Let's say 19 pay periods times eight. Let's say you got 150. It's 152. But let's say 150 plus 240. You got 390 hours of annual leave in that scenario. 390 hours of annual leave, and you divide by 2,087, you've got 18 and a half of your working pay for a year. Hey, that's substantial.
And
I
that's
always
just a
say,
nice little check, right? At the end,
yeah,
you say,
if you make 195,000 at the cap, right? 0.18 times 195, that's 35,000. Yeah, they're going to whack it in taxes. They will. 20 or 25%.
yeah,
Memories failing me on the exact. It's either 20% or 25% federal tax that they pull from it. But
yeah,
it'll sort out. I mean, once you do your taxes. So it's a lot. And here, look, this year you're gonna accrue annual leave, even
yep,
if you keep it really low. Because this year, when you go on administrative leave, you don't need to go to work. So you're not going to use your annual leave. You're not going to use your vacation time. And
yeah.
yeah, and which leads me to the next subject. You're
Great.
not going to use your sick leave because you're not working.
You're
So
already on leave.
yeah, so trying to figure out how to burn it down to the closest round month, it no longer works. So I don't have to worry about those numbers for you because that's a really tricky little numeric scenario, little
Hmm.
algorithm, right? We don't have to work that out anymore because it is what it is. Whatever you have left is going to add to your length of service in your pension calculation, and whatever partial months there are, they're just going to get wasted. And that's okay because you had a severance package, right? And the
Yeah,
severance package was, you didn't have to work for 6 or 7 months. So there's that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that's nice. I mean, the options, the choices all sound good.
Yeah.
Get that nice little lump sum too at the end is just a nice little bonus going in. Anything else that you feel like we have to add to this, or are we ready to go on to a health tip?
Well, if you've elected to do this, um, by all means, don't be bitter. Rejoice,
Yeah,
rejoice. Walk through retirement. Look, I say this all the time, and I've been doing this. This is our 17th year. I've been doing this, and I believe you should be able to walk into retirement with your head held high, knowing
yeah,
that you've done everything you could to secure your retirement properly, and that you've got a plan. We put it down in writing. We put it in writing. We know what your sources of income are. We know what your, oh, it's right behind me,
yep,
sources of income at the top. Then at like the two, 2.5, 3 o'clock, we got your investment plan to provide more income, right? And then the
yeah,
tax plan we're very passionate about. Head held high. Know that we know what your sources of income are. We know um, what your assets are. We know what your monthly expenses are. We've got it all down in writing, and we know what your tax implications are. And we're going to pursue all of those effectively for you. Oh, and
love it.
by the way, if you want to talk to us, because we've had a lot of response, you can
Yeah,
just text. Marcus will tell you at the end too, but
yes,
just text your name and your email to 949 359 5100. 949 359 5100. And we'll know what it is, right? And you can tell us what your scenario is too if you want to text more than that. But we know what it is. You're looking for a 15-minute phone call. We'll give it to you complimentary.
get
Okay.
that consultation. Absolutely.
Enjoy yourselves. Good job. Fantastic. Outstanding. Congratulations. Feel good about it. Even
Yep,
if the way it was presented might not have been with honor and respect, it certainly is an opportunity for you now. And I feel good for you.
yeah.
Okay? You should feel good for yourself.
And
Yeah.
I like that the use of that word right at the end. It's an opportunity, and that's the way you need to view it.
Yes, it is.
It's
It's
a
an
really good
opportunity.
opportunity. All
Yeah.
right.
All
So
right.
meanwhile, health tip. What do we do? I'm off now.
Oh man, don't be completely off. Don't
Okay.
sink down into the couch with the television, and then
Yes.
you could sink so low into that couch that you could be 6 feet below the couch. I don't
We
want
don't
that
want
to
that.
happen to you. No, no, no. Stay active.
Stay active.
Stay in motion.
Yes.
Be involved in your community, in your organization, with your faith, whatever it is that you're passionate about. And you could be pursuing another job that you've always wanted to pursue. I've talked to some people that want to continue, finish up with some education and pursue
Yeah.
something else they've always wanted to do, and they can do it because they can work part time and they've got their pension that's now paying them. So good for you. Whatever it is, stay in there. If it's your family, if it's your grandchildren, oh, I watched this retired nurse from Balboa Hospital. She runs all over the place with her grandkids. I mean,
Yeah.
constantly. And then she's running, 2, 3 trips, cruises twice a year, and some trip overseas. So yeah, she stays really active. But the grandkids really keep her humming, right?
That.
Daycare and school and soccer and sports and this, that, and the other. Whatever it
Yep.
is that you're involved in, get involved more. Stay involved,
I
right?
like that.
Love up on others, right?
Yep.
Love up on them,
Yeah.
folks. It's going to keep you young, and it's going to keep you vibrant, and it's going to keep you living a long, healthy life.
New-
Congratulations, all of you.
Newton said it right. Objects in motion tend to
Yes,
stay in
that's right.
motion. Stay
That's
in
great.
motion, folks.
Yeah, yeah,
And
that's a
I'll just add because all those are good. I mean, great tips, right? Because mentally you need to be involved, spiritually, emotionally, get something that occupies your time. I'll add if you haven't done it lately, dust off that gym membership and go in there and get throw those weights around, man. Get some physical activity too. That helps you really stay active and engaged with everything. So good for the mind, good for the body.
yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah, find out what's cool in your region. Like when
Yeah.
I visited Mark and Sharon, it's we went to it was hot, folks. And I posted this, and folks didn't realize that I posted it maybe a month later in September, late
Yep.
September, when the heat had broke. But it was in the middle of August, I think. But we went to Barton Springs, and
Oh,
they hadn't been there for some time. It was several years at least, Marcus. You told
yeah.
me.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Yeah,
don't get
we
there as
went.
much as we like.
Yeah, no, we went there back to back days, and we just had a nice time, just floating around the water, just relaxing. in all that heat. It felt so good. It was so nice and cool. We got to go to Terry's barbecue,
Yep.
right?
Terry
And
Blacks, yes.
Terry Blacks, and we got what we oh yeah, we also went to
What didn't we get?
Tiki Bar,
That's right. Tiki bar, barbecue, and swimming pools. That's Texas. It's awesome Texas in a nutshell.
swimming pools, movie stars. Like Beverly Hillbillies. It was fun. But whatever's going on in your region, right? In
Yeah.
my region where I live on the coast here, we love to take people to the tidal pools. It's
Yeah.
so cool down there, especially
Beautiful.
if it's high tide and the waves are poof, bashing, right?
Yep.
There's a trail I discovered just about 2 or 3 years ago, about 25 minutes closer to the office, about 15 minutes from the office, 25 minutes from the house, and it looks like you're in like the canyons of Arizona.
Cool.
And you're right here in the foothills of Orange County, South OC. It's great,
Really?
right? I mean, you
We
could go
haven't been. I need to go
surfing.
then next time I'm up there.
Oh yeah, we can do that. I mean,
Yeah.
and there's places I haven't been in Utah I want to go to. I
Yeah.
mean, the national parks. What was it called? Grand Staircase Escalante. It looks gorgeous. I've been to Bryson Zion. I haven't
Yeah.
been to Arches yet. I haven't been to Lake Tahoe. Everybody's jumping me. They're like, Charles, you've never been to Lake Tahoe?
That was
So
beautiful.
I got to go there, right? I've
Yeah.
been to Yosemite a number of times. I've been to Yellowstone. It's a sin if you've never been to either one of those parks,
Yeah.
right? I'm going to Banff this summer. So if I,
Ski
c-
man.
yeah, if I could pull it off, I'd like to flip down, I think it's like 2.5, 3 hours south to Glacier National Park and go there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, go see your country. I think North America is amazing. Alaska and Hawaii and Canada. I mean, we're going to be going to Canada and Banff, but to me, well, according to the present administration, that is our country, isn't it? So go, go, baby. See North America. I'm serious.
Yes.
I just happen to be going to Punta Mita, which is outside of Puerto Vallarta, this
Uh-huh.
in just a month or so, and I'm really looking forward to it because if it's beautiful, I know how to get there
Yeah.
inexpensively because we can cross the border express at
Yep.
whatever it's called, OTI or TJX, and we can fly on Valeris down to Puerto Vallarta for just under $200.
Wow.
Now, Gio told me, he's a team member. He said, "Yeah, but Charles, you know what Valeris is like?" I'm like, "I don't know." He says, "It's like Spirit Airlines." I'm like,
Who
"I
cares?
don't care. I'm up and down in 3 hours, right? It's nonstop, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah. It turns out we're flying out of San Diego because it was the only nonstop with Americans. So we're gonna take an Uber down there probably because by the time we pay for parking. Anyway, I digress.
Pe-
Let me tell you, stay active. See your national
there you go.
parks. Your national parks are awesome. I
Yeah.
haven't been disappointed with any of them, right? Yeah, honestly, there's something to offer in your region. Even Joshua Tree was cool, and that's a
Yeah.
big time climbing park during the winter with those 20 and 30 foot like spires of
Yeah.
rock. Yeah, and
And Joshua Tree at night is spectacular.
we were stargazing there. The
Yep.
two couples, your
Yeah.
wife and mine. I mean, we went out there, and that was
It's
just
amazing.
chill, right? Just a
Amazing.
little hot tub action with hot mineral water, and go for a meal and just relax. It
Yep.
was nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
love it.
whatever your region is, explore it, get into it, right? Really enjoy what's around you. Museums, whatever you got,
Yep.
cuisine. Yeah. I mean, we've
And
done shabu shabu, Marcus, right? A lot of
if you
people in
need
Southern
help,
California have never done shabu shabu. You got to experience it once.
that's
I
great.
got you. Korean
I was gonna
barbecue.
say if you need help
Go.
planning, call us up. We'll plan what
Oh
what you
yeah,
need
we
to do.
will. Hey, text us that stuff. Say text us for restaurants, right?
There
Say,
you go.
hey, I'm coming to SoCal. I'm coming to Austin. Where should I go to eat? Right? We
Yes.
can't be implicated for a bad meal, right? but we're gonna
I don't think
we're gonna
so.
do our best to get you a fantastic one, right?
Absolutely. We'll
Yeah.
get we'll steer you correctly. I'll just say
Yes,
that
we
because we'll
will.
get you some good
Yes.
spots, man. We love
Yes.
to explore. All right. Well, just a quick reminder to everybody before we sign off. Charles mentioned the number earlier. I'm going to mention it again: 949-359-5100. 949-359-5100. Text us. That's easy. It takes you 10 seconds. Let us know your name, your email. If you feel there's something pertinent you need to add, put it in there. But that will help you get on the calendar. Otherwise, you can always click the link below and subscribe to these videos. That way you get them first in your inbox. Man, this is a good conversation today, Chuck. Thank you so much, as always, for your time, my brother. And to everybody out there, we look forward to seeing you next time on CD Financial Health. I always want to say Healthcast podcast, where health meets wealth. CD Financial. We look forward to hearing from you soon. Take
All
care.
right. We'll see you guys. Congratulations if you've taken the deferred resignation. All the best. Hope I get to help you in any shape, way, shape, or form. All right, now.
Perfect.
Talk to you soon.
CD Financial, where health meets wealth.